Well, proud of our team. You know, these guys just continue to respond and get better. You know, I'm proud of them for finishing tonight. This is our kind of the end of our road season, and it's only the second time in 15 years that we've had 4 road wins. And I'm really proud of our guys for that. You know, you win games on the road, you got a chance to be a good team, and it's not easy to win on the road in this league or any league for that matter. But proud of them. Offensively, you know, just we knew we were going to have some opportunity, but you got to finish those plays. And man, the guys finished plays throwing and catching. I think only the second time ever that we've rushed for over 300 and passed for over 300. A lot of records tonight. Taj set the all-time touchdown record. Newt, all-time touchdown record. Dalton Freeman went over 3,000 plays in his career tonight. But I'm going to tell you what, the credit goes to that offensive line. You know, I thought they were outstanding. They came to play. They protected our quarterback and, you know, just really gave us an opportunity to be successful and have balance. And the balance was critical. It really opened some things up, you know, overall offensively. Did a poor job with the turnovers. That's the first game we've lost in a while in the turnover margin, but so that was disappointing. You know, a couple of them were kind of fluky, but you know, give them credit for that. But the positive was our defense. None of them hurt us. Our defense got stops and got the ball back. And speaking of defense, I was a little disappointed in the first half with the 2 big plays. Just really poor coverage right there and technique. But they came back in the second half and held them at 3 points. And this is an offense that really can score on people. So just proud of them, how they played in the second half. Held them to 86 yards rushing. We talked about we got to take something away. We were able to do that. And the thing I'm most pleased with is the 4 sacks. You know, it's 2 weeks in a row now. I think we've had a total of 9 sacks. So we're just generating a lot more pressure. Guys are winning matchups, and it's different guys. You know, Vic Beasley and Josh Watson and Tavares Barnes. You've seen a lot of guys get in there at the quarterback, and just really proud of the production there. Special teams was solid, but again, just a great win. We're 8-1, and yeah, we've got 21 days left in this season, and it's going to be a big challenge for us. We're excited to be able to finish our season back home in the Valley, and but we're going to have to continue to just stay focused, stay committed, and just try to win, you know, one day at a time, and again, try to have a great finish. And these guys have done a good job of responding to whatever we've asked them to do. And, you know, so we'll put this one to bed and you know, get ready for a great opportunity versus Maryland. You know, we can find a way to win this game and set a school record for wins in a row at home, and that would be a great accomplishment for this football team. So I'm proud of the consistency that I'm seeing from these guys. Played a lot of guys. I think that's just whenever you can, you know, develop your depth and your talent, especially your young talent. It's just so important. And you know, we got a chance to get a bunch of people in there, and that just really pays dividends for you from a morale standpoint, and again, just a development standpoint. And guys have opportunities to play. So, you know, again, great win. And with that, I'll take the questions.
Andre Alex and Brandon Ford, some of those guys.
Yeah. Andre tweaked his ham right on that first run, and you know, we just didn't think he could go full speed. So we don't think it's serious. We think it's, you know, probably pretty minor, but disappointed with that, and he wasn't able to fit. He got a good run, good start, and he was out. Brandon Ford, I think he's just got bruised rib, and I think that's it. I think everybody else is okay. So you know, hopefully we can get those guys back here in a couple of days.
How about Taj tonight, the way he put the ball on the money and the way he ran the ball?
Well, he's ran the ball effectively all year. That's really been the biggest difference in Taj this year is him making plays with his legs consistently and being a really good decision maker in the running game. But you know, it's 2 games in a row he's been on target. He's been pretty special throwing the ball the last 2 weeks. And you know, again, we knew just their style of play that there would be some opportunities, but you know, you got to finish the play. And you know, you got to pick it up. They bring a lot of pressure, and Taj has got to be active with the ball. But again, we had a couple of them that got away from us, but overall, just great performance by the quarterback. It was tremendous, and then the receivers. You know, our speed showed up, and just a lot of guys touching the ball. And Jerron Brown had a big play early on a big third down, kind of get that first drive going. And of course, Nuke Hopkins was just, I mean, it's unbelievable. And they had good coverage, a few times, but our guy just made the play. And that's ultimately what it comes down to is matchups.
Last week you mentioned some disappointment up here. How important is it for on games like this to be very businesslike and just come up here, take care of business, and get the heck out of here?
Well, again, that's what we're trying to develop with our program. That if you just listen, you look at college football. I mean, you cannot take anything for granted. You can't take any opponent for granted. Just look around in college football, and a lot of it is, especially when you're dealing with young people, is that they don't come to play. And these guys have really bought in, and they are learning that it's about Clemson. It's about how we play. Here's a standard that we got to play to. Nothing else. Nothing else should matter. Where we play, what time we play, who we play. None of that stuff matters. It's a play to a standard. And these guys have bought into that. Bring the energy, play with passion, and it's just. We've developed a lot of consistency because of that, because of that mentality, the mindset that these guys have bought into. And, again, we're becoming a consistent winner. And that's, y'all heard me say that a million times. That's what I felt like the next goal for our program was to be a consistent winner. And, hopefully we can have a great finish here and finish up with back-to-back really strong seasons and then get ready to do it again next year. I mean, that's what good programs do. But there's a lot of opportunity in front of us. But the positive is these guys continue to improve. They're having fun. They're a close group. Our staff is tremendous. I mean, our coaches we have great chemistry. We coach them hard, and we hold them accountable. But there's just a lot of love on this football team, and I think it shows with how they play.
Has that standard gone up? I guess has the improvement upon that standard of what you wanted, has that improved every year that you've been here as far as guys understanding what it takes to be that type of program?
I think the standard's been the same since the day I got this job, but learning how to achieve to that is a whole different deal. Understanding the commitment that it takes day in and day out, being all in to being your best on and off the field in everything you do, that's a whole nother process. And but that's where we are. These guys have, slowly bought into that, and a lot of it's recruiting. All these guys that came here, with the exception of 8 guys, came here to be in what we do, to be a part of our program, the vision, the plan, and that's a big part of it too. I think. It's not like we're transitioning. We got 3 seniors out of that dandy dozen, and the other 8 guys were all here when I was an interim. But everybody else has chosen to come and be a part of, hey, here's the way it is. This is how we're going to do it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, probably not a good place for you. And so they bought in, and they're having success, and success breeds success. And then I think last year's experience has been real positive for these guys. We had 42 freshmen on that roster last year that had some success, had some failure, but achieved some good things. And they worked hard in the off season, and they're just, again, growing as a team and figuring it out. That, hey, it's about us. We got everything we need. Let's play to our capabilities. And, because if they do that, they're going to have a great chance to win.
Are you seeing the defense, though? It seems like since that bye week, Brent's unit has gotten better. Is that just experience? Is that his schemes that he's
It really, I think, at Boston College is where we started to kind of make a turn. Boston College, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, tonight. I mean, they just are continuing to get better. We've been kind of having a trend of 17 points or less. We just missed that tonight. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is just guys learning what to do. Figuring it out. They've been coached, and a ton of these guys had just not played a whole lot, and it was a new system. So they not only was it a new system, but we had very little experience, and so they're just getting better, and it just shows. You see the improvement up front, and the reason you're seeing the improvement, the talent's been there, but they're not thinking as much. They're playing, and we've developed some pretty good depth. So You know, but I just really am proud of the defense. You know, tonight we hadn't been giving up those big, we gave up 2 really dumb big plays tonight. And one we were in position, just had poor technique. The other one, we got no safety help, and we're looking in at the backfield instead of staying inside leverage and really understanding what you're doing on the play. But other than that, you know, these guys are really playing together as a unit. That's what defensive football is about. And just continue to get better.
Coach, how exciting is it for you to see all these, you know, you're trying to build a consistent program. You're seeing all the guys buy into that. How exciting is it for you to see this finally coming into play for you?
Well, it's very exciting because, you know, we've worked really hard, you know, to recruit guys that we felt like fit, you know, our program. We've worked hard to develop guys. We've worked hard to discipline guys, teach guys, you know, develop them in the weight room, you know, the whole deal. And then just program things that have helped us. But the staff has worked tirelessly, you know, to help us have a consistent product. And but you know, you got to give the credit to the players because they buy in and they practice hard. They practice well all year. They do what we ask them to do. You know, they're a fun group to come to work with every day. We don't have a lot of issues. Time to time, we got to stick our foot in one of them, but they respond. And we're a young team. Again, we only got 11 seniors. We only got 11 juniors. So we're pretty much a freshman sophomore team that's kind of growing up right before our eyes, and it's great to see it, you know, taking place. But again, we're just 8-1, and our goals are bigger than 8-1. You know, we want to finish the very best that we possibly can, and we've been on a quest for best all year. That's what we talk about all the time. So hopefully we can continue to stay on track and do just that.
You guys have Maryland coming up. Have you, obviously, I'm sure you've heard something about their quarterback issue. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
You know, I've seen it in other positions, like in the offensive line. I remember Auburn one year lost about 4 centers. But you know, that's a different deal. I mean, it's a rare thing to see the quarterback situation. And then I think 3 of them are ACL. So just crazy situation. You know, just kind of freaky. That, you know, I don't know how they did today or what they did, but you know, we'll worry about that tomorrow. Start getting ready for them. And again, it's not about Maryland. It's about just, you know, us continue to improve as a team and just play our best football. You know, I don't, the scoreboard, it really does not, you know, bother me. It's more about how we play. You know, let's play the game, because if we play well, the scoreboard takes care of itself.
Dabo, sorry to keep an ass already, but Ellington's status?
He tweaked his ham on that first play, and it doesn't seem serious, but you know, we didn't feel like he could go and be full speed. So we went with those other guys, and man, I tell you, it was great. You know, to see DJ and Hot Rod, and how about Zach Brooks getting in there and ended up with 71 yards. So great experience for him. You know, he's going to be a good player. You know, we get him in the weight room this offseason and really grow him up. He's going to be a solid player for us. So I'm excited that those guys got an opportunity to go in there. And that's what we say, hey, next man up, no drop off, standards the same. They perform well.
Do style points matter for this team?
What is that?
Do style points matter for this team? Or
Style points?
Margin of victory, that sort of thing? Is that
No, we're just trying to win. You know, again, we win 3-2 or 56-20. We just want to win, and then we'll go on from there. But you know, but I think that it's more about just playing to our level. You know, and when you have a chance to dominate an opponent, you know, and you're capable, we'll play to that level. And I thought our guys were that tonight. I thought we were better in some areas from a matchup standpoint, and they just took advantage of it. I tell you, I can't say enough about Duke. You know, those guys never quit. They got down, you know, quick, but they continue to play hard all the way through, and that's just a great sign that they believe in Coach Cutcliffe and his staff and what they're doing here. You know, I hope they win the rest of them. I'm pulling for them because I'm really happy to see the success that they've had. But they got some good players on that team, really good players.
anything else?
Bye, guys.